Today, we're talking about President Biden vetoing a bill to add federal judgeships, the House Ethics Committee's report on former Representative Matt Gaetz, a Christmas Day plane crash in Azerbaijan, and other top news for Friday, December 27th. Stay informed while remaining focused on Christ with the pour-over today. Here's the quote of the day. Who can add to Christmas? The perfect motive is that God so loved the world. The perfect gift is that he gave his only son. The only requirement is to believe in him. The reward of faith is that you shall have everlasting life. Corrie ten Boom. Let's get started with some espresso shots. President Biden is flexing his executive powers. On Monday, he vetoed the Judges Act, a bipartisan bill to add 66 federal judges by 2035. It would have been the first major judiciary expansion since 1990. Biden called the bill hastily put together and criticized House Republicans for passing it only after the election, meaning Trump, not Harris, would appoint the first wave of new judges. Judicial leaders criticized the veto, saying the courts need help. Federal caseloads have jumped 346% since 2004, with about 80,000 cases pending. Also on Monday, Biden commuted the sentences of 37 of the 40 federal death row inmates, reducing their sentences to life without parole. Only 3 inmates convicted of mass killings remain on death row. Trump's team called the move a slap in the face to victims' families. Being peaceable, gentle, and open to reason in the face of culturally hot topics is a sign of God's wisdom in us. James 3, verse 17 says, "But the wisdom from above is first pure, then peace-loving, gentle, open to reason, full of mercy and good fruits, unwavering, without pretense." The House Ethics Committee released its 42-page report on former Congressman Matt Gaetz Monday. The report found substantial evidence that Gaetz paid women and a 17-year-old girl for engaging in sexual activity and used illegal drugs like ecstasy and cocaine while he was a U.S. representative. The committee, which has an equal number of Democrats and Republicans, secretly voted to release the report earlier this month, a rare move since Gaetz is no longer a representative. He resigned after President-elect Trump nominated him for Attorney General. The committee determined that releasing the report, many details of which had already leaked, was in the public's interest. Gaetz, who was investigated but not charged by the DOJ, said he has an embarrassing, though not criminal, past. He called the report a sham, decrying the lack of cross-examination of witnesses. We live in a world marred by sin. Even while we work to promote accountability and redemption here on earth, we can rest in the knowledge that a day is coming where sin will be impossible and regret a distant memory. Isaiah 33, verse 22 says, "For the Lord is our judge, the Lord is our lawgiver, the Lord is our king. He will save us." At least 38 are dead and dozens injured after a plane crash in Kazakhstan. An Azerbaijan Airlines flight took off early Wednesday morning from Baku, Azerbaijan, headed to Grozny, Russia, with nearly 70 people on board. The plane reportedly changed course due to fog and attempted an emergency landing near Aktau, Kazakhstan. Cell phone footage appears to show the aircraft making a steep descent with its landing gear down before bursting into flames on impact. Theories about the cause of the crash are swirling. A UK aviation security firm and Ukrainian officials have said holes in the plane's tail section indicate that it was shot down by Russian air defense systems. Russian reports suggested the plane ran through a flock of birds before the crash. Azerbaijani officials said all possible scenarios are under investigation. Here's a verse to consider when a sudden tragedy interrupts everyday life. "I was helpless, and the Lord saved me. Return to your rest, my soul, for the Lord has been good to you. For you, Lord, rescued me from death. I will walk before the Lord in the land of the living. Psalm 116, verses 6 through 9. In other brews, here's a rapid round of updates. Honda and Nissan are now in accord. The two Japanese car companies announced they are considering a merger, which would create the world's third largest automaker, behind only Toyota and Volkswagen. The announcement follows news that Nissan will cut 20% of its manufacturing due to growing debt. As long as nothing goes rogue, Honda and Nissan could merge in the next 6 months. Ukraine's lights went dark on Christmas after Russia fired over 180 missiles and drones at its energy infrastructure. At least one person died, and power outages swept the country as Ukrainians sought shelter with sirens and explosions sounding overhead. Presidents Zelensky and Biden condemned the inhumane attack, while Russia said its goal of striking critical energy facilities was achieved. A subway murder has renewed national conversations about crime and immigration. A still unidentified woman, possibly experiencing homelessness, was sleeping on a parked train Sunday when a man boarded and set her clothes on fire, quickly killing her. Bystanders filmed but didn't intervene. The suspect, a previously deported Guatemalan who entered the country illegally, has been charged with murder and arson. Luigi Mangione pleaded not guilty again on Monday after being extradited from Pennsylvania to New York. Mangione, 26, faces state and federal charges, including first-degree murder, second-degree murder as a crime of terrorism, and multiple weapons charges in the fatal shooting of United Healthcare's CEO. The case has sparked debate over the insurance industry, with protesters outside the courthouse chanting, "Free Luigi." Netflix unwrapped its first ever NFL broadcasts on Christmas Day after shelling out $150 million for the opportunity. Mariah Carey opened the Chiefs-Steelers game with her classic, "All I Want for Christmas Is You," and later, Beyoncé spread some holiday halftime cheer during the Ravens-Texans game. The festive and largely glitch-free doubleheader was watched by a massive 1/3 of Netflix's global subscribers. And that's all we have for today. Thanks so much for listening. If you're listening on the Apple Podcast app, give us a 5-star rating and drop a review. If you're listening on Spotify, give us a follow and hit the notification bell to never miss a new episode. We appreciate your support and hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.